up, WMS? I'm Jocelyn.
And I'm Brecklin. Today is Friday, June 7th.
Here's an exciting book trailer by Owen.
Hey, my name is Owen, and today I will be giving you my book trailer on the book Call of the Wild. Buck, a large shepherd mix, lives a happy life in Santa Clara Valley, California. Then one day he is stolen from his home to a place that sells dogs. He is sold to a man that teaches him to become an Alaskan sled dog. Buck's is a mix between two types of dogs, which are St. Bernard and Scotch Shepherd. Buck throughout the book feels very nervous and homesick because he was taken from his home. The story mainly takes place in the Yukon Territory in Alaska, but at the start takes place in Santa Clara Valley, California. The time period is around 1895 to 1900. Buck has grown so used to being cared for by people like his old owner, Judge Miller, that now he has to actually provide for himself and survive in the wilderness, which can be a very difficult transition. Will Buck be able to adapt to the Alaskan wildlife, or will he struggle and not end up lasting long at all? Find out what happens next in this suspenseful Alaskan wildlife animal adventure. Call of the Wild was written in 1903 by Jack London, and you can find this book in our WMS library.
Hey WMS, it's time to pack the gym again.
On Wednesday, June 12th, we will have another awesome inclusion sports game in the gym.
Students from Miss Charette's DLC class will be playing a fun game of indoor soccer.
Let's show our support in School Pride Bulldogs.
Now let's watch another episode of Paleo Nerd by Colin.
Hey, I'm Colin, and welcome back to Paleo Nerd. Today, I'm going to be talking about the late Jurassic carnivorous theropod dinosaur, Allosaurus fragilis. Allosaurus fragilis lived in the Morrison Formation in North America about 150 million years ago in the Jurassic period. Now, this dinosaur is interesting because it's one of the best known dinosaurs out there just because of the sheer number of fossils that we've found, which means we have a pretty good idea of what it looked like. It has a slender head, which was characteristic of all carnosaurs. It had long arms, beefy legs, and serrated teeth, kind of like a shark's. But what was really cool, that it had two ridges, or horns on the top of its head. These might have been used for display or species recognition. We also found a number of Allosaurus bones together in one spot, which means we theorized that it must have hunted in packs. We also have a pretty good idea of the kind of prey it hunted. It hunted big sauropods like Apatosaurus. So what it would do while hunting was single out the weak, the young, the old, or the sick. And they would target their prey, and they would run at it, and one of them would actually jump on it, grab on it, and hold on to it for a while. But this dinosaur didn't have a very strong bite force. It wasn't even as strong as a lion's. But it did have a huge mouth gape, so what it would do is use its head as an axe to swing down and bite chunks of its prey out. And due to the number of Allosaurus, the prey animal will eventually get brought down. It also hunted stuff like armored dinosaurs like Stegosaurus. But that's not to say that Stegosaurus wasn't a pretty good adversary for Allosaurus. We found a Stegosaurus tail spike embedded in an Allosaurus bone. So, to hunt big prey like that, this must have been a big animal. It was 38 feet long, 16 feet tall, and weighed 3,086 pounds. How it went extinct was also interesting, because the Morrison Formation got really serious droughts. It was especially hard for the animals to get through the dry season. So the water in this ecosystem would dry up. Then the plants would have no water, and then the plants would die out. Then the herbivores would die out because they had no food. Then since the herbivores died out, there would be no food for the carnivores. Then eventually, all of the carnivores died out, including Allosaurus. I think that's all I have to say on Allosaurus fragilis. Thanks for watching another episode of Paleo Nerd. Bye.
Colin. Excellent video.
Now let's take a look at a video about the new lending libraries at WMS.
I got the idea from Mrs. Dury, who suggested that I put a lending library in each wing of the school, and I loved it right away because this is yet another way to circulate the books among our readers. Well, I hope the students do continue to check out books from our library. Of course, we have a much larger selection there, but for those students who worry about losing a book or damaging a book, there's really no pressure here. They can just come and take a book that looks interesting to them, give it back when they finish, purge their shelves at home, and let other students read the books that they've been enjoying. Well, here's the 6th grade one. This is the first one that's completed. Noah designed this one. He designed it so that the top opens. He suggested we put bookmarks inside and other books. And then here's where the bulk of them are. There is a little sign here that says, "Give a book, take a book." And they can do that. Everyone's just on their honor. These are cropping up in neighborhoods. You might see them around. It's a concept that's really growing. Noah is currently working on the 7th grade one. That one's going to be raw wood. It won't be painted. And then here we have the 8th grade one. I'll give you a sneak preview of it. It's not quite ready yet. You see the door opens here. There's a little shelf for oversized books here. And my TA is going to be painting some designs on the side of it, and then it'll be ready to go into the 8th grade wing. So very soon, I'd say in the next couple of weeks, they'll be showing up in the 7th and 8th grade wings.
I'm at the London Library because Mrs. Mathis came to me and she's asking me to make a cool thing for the 6th graders to read. I like the London Library because it's a good place for kids to put books that they enjoyed for other kids to read, and vice versa.
Great job, Noah and Miss Mathis.
Let's take a look at this week's birthday. And remember, Bulldogs, be kind,
Be safe and make good choices.